So anyway, in my real life, I own a marketing consulting firm, so I thought that I would come in here and help you guys with some marketing tips, because I believe that IABC is the best kept secret. And I believe that what we really need is some strong marketing. And I have pushed that at the upper level, but I also believe, just like politics is local, so is a little bit of this, because every chapter has its own personality, right? Each chapter is in a different city. We're all dealing with, various size cities, towns, whatever, various types of people. Every chapter can have different types of roles in it. Like some chapters are much heavier with internal communicators. Some chapters have more PR people. So I think to start with, Marketing 101 is know your audience. Okay? Your audience is not always just your chapter members. Who are you missing? Who's not coming? Okay? And I'll give you an example. Long before all these young ones came onto the Houston board, which is another whole great story. When I first got on involved in the Houston chapter, a lot of the people on our board were all internal comms. And guess what? Every month our programming was all about internal comms. And we were not reaching the vast market that Houston is. So good old Thomas Bain, a lot of you guys have met him. He is really a marketing statistician. He did some research and some surveys for us, and we found that our chapter was not made up of all internal comms people. And we started diversifying our professional development just like our audience was, to match our audience, okay? Not only did we do that, we also diversified our programming into offering more happy hours, some young professional things, because our other thing, as I tell everyone, when I joined that board, it was a bunch of old ladies and Thomas Bain. And our goal was, what are we going to do to bring some youth into this chapter? And we worked and worked and worked on bringing in young people and getting them on our board. And now there's the whole board is young people, and it's a variety of professions. And our professional development has excelled tremendously, and I believe that is because there was a reach to figure out what it is our audience needed. And again, that isn't always necessarily just your board or just your chapter members. We're trying to grow here, right? So what we need to do is reach out to your community, your communications community, and make sure that you are reaching them with what their needs are. So that's your next thing in marketing, right? You got to know your audience. And number two, it's not about you. It's never about you and what you can offer. It's about what are you going to do for them, okay? How are you going to tell them that coming to IABC is going to be the best thing that they ever did, because we are the best kept secret. And also we want you to come back. So what we want from you is, or what we're going to tell you is, we are going to help your career, and here's how we're going to do it. Then we go back to LI. How many times have we heard now? Learn, meet, help, right? So you take those, okay, so you start promoting in all your social media and of course your website and everything else, your professional development. We just discussed that, right? We're going to make sure that our professional development meets the needs of our audience. And when you start stepping that up, Austin, that is one of the ones right there. He's the one who stepped up the PD in Houston and has brought in a lot more people, and it's really strong programming. And people want to come and talk to a group. Let me tell you, not all of us, but but a lot of them do. So you've stepped up that, okay? So now what you want to do is increase and of course you're going to promote your your programming. I'm preaching to the choir on all this, I assume, on your promotions, that you want to promote regularly, you want to build that email list, you want to promote through social media, but also on your website, make sure that your search engine optimization is really strong on the back side with your keywords and everything like that, because what you'll find is you'll reach people who are out just looking for communications, learning or programming or whatever, who don't even know about us yet, right? So make sure that that is very strong on your back side of your website and your keywords, because then you'll end up in the search engines. And then make sure you're growing that email list. I assume everyone is doing that. But my next big thing that I really have to brag on my chapter for is, and I hope you guys, I've mentioned this a few times at leadership stuff, so I hope people are now doing this, is at every chapter meeting we have cards on the table for guests, right? Sign in, please, and give us all your information and your email. And so therefore, now we have a new email list, right? But also we always have a table captain. And that table captain is there, and it's usually a board member or a volunteer. That table captain is there to introduce people at the table, let everyone go around and introduce themselves, tell about IABC a little bit, but most importantly, that table captain goes back to their office and they email every person that was at their table and they thank them for attending the meeting, and they say, here's next month's programming, and please join us. Let me tell you something, that little personal touch goes a long, long way. And I believe that is another marketing thing that you can do. Seriously has helped a lot. And it's so easy to do, right? So next, we're going to talk about networking. That's your next thing that you need to promote, is your networking. Now, and what is available, and that is with your events. And I know we've talked about how many events you have and all that, and how often you do your reach. As a marketing person, I don't think you can do it often enough. I know there are people, I've heard it, that board that I was on with the fuddy-duddies, none of them are here, but they thought that you should not be sending very much to people. People are tired of seeing this. Well, Thomas proved everybody wrong, because he said it takes 12 reaches to finally get through to someone. So if you're saying, hey, I sent out a message about that meeting and nobody showed, you sent out one message, not going to work, okay? So you've got to make sure that you are increasing that reach to people and letting them know. And the other thing that I think is, the more you start doing that and pushing out these promotions, and you maybe have a variety of activities going on, that starts to feed on itself, and people start thinking, wow, this is really an exciting organization. Look what all is going on with this organization. And I think that really helps with growth. So last is help. And again, we've already discussed a lot of the board bringing in volunteers. But this goes in part with what Joanne was talking about, but I was asked last year to chair one of the committees for the International on Open Call in a Box. Now that is a whole promotion, it's a whole toolkit that we built on, and it's on Leader Center, and it is full of good stuff. and you can use that, but I will say I developed all the promotional materials because it's what I do, but there's templates. So there's a flyer on, there's a flyer on leadership. That's my other big thing, is I think that's what you promote to people to start getting them involved. How how is IBC going to help their career? IBC is going to help their career in a lot of different ways, not just from the professional development that they bring in, but also by becoming involved, right? So that is one of the deals is, come get involved and we'll help you build your leadership skills. Or we might help you build some skills, as you were saying, with other areas of your career that you want to expand. You're tired of doing, I used to do media relations. I don't do that anymore because I didn't like it. So I expanded my career. And then somehow I got into this event planning thing. I don't know. So, but anyway, I think, so you promote, so these templates, there's one for each. There's four. There's one on leadership, which is my big thing. There's one on learn. So, and then there's one on meet, and then there's one on help. Do they want to come and help? Do they want to not just help the chapter, but they're, like our chapter does a thing called the gift of communication. A lot of people like to come and do that. So you promote that. Each of these templates has a basic, what we're going to do for you, theme to it. And here's what you're going to get out of this. This is what you're going to receive if you start coming to if you become involved in IABC. Then our board has a need for these positions or whatever. Go on there, download these templates and personalize them to your chapter and your needs.